Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 439. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gast, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
What's up, guys? Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 439 of the Gamecast. Whew. We have a lot of news to go over today for you guys. A lot of stuff got announced in the last few days. You didn't even have to go back far in the news to figure out, to look up the news. You're like, I go back every now and again to look up news for us to talk about. And this was like, you don't have to go back. You're like, okay, I got this, and this. And yeah, it was just crazy. So we're going to get into that. But let's first talk about what we've been up to. And I want to kick us off. I'll kick us off with Devil May Cry 5. So yeah, I've been playing a lot of that. I'm on mission 14 now. Nice. I'm not sure. I think it's like I'm near the end. But I do really enjoy this game. I do still wish there was more Dante in this game. He's so fun to play. It's like I kind of understand why, because it's like, but okay. I remember the first Devil May Cry games where the game was insanely hard. But you were like a badass Dante. Any mobs you could just destroy. It was the bosses that were insane. Yeah. And it's like they make you not. I felt like, to me, they didn't want me to play as Dante because they felt like, okay, he is just overpowered and just mauls through things. But I'm like, just balance the game better. Let me play as Dante more. And then I get your point, Tony. Last week you mentioned V was a very easy mode character. Mm-hmm. And he really, really is. Like, the more you play with him, it's just like I can SSS rank his stuff like easily. Like, I get so many orbs with his character because you can just, and I'm button mashing is all I'm doing. Button mashing and tapping right, because you can have an instant kill with him if you hit right bumper and B. He does, like, if they're weakened, he instant kills things. So it's just like I'm mashing two fingers. I'm not even moving. I'm hitting the X and the Y buttons on the Xbox controller for my two adds to kill things, and I'm hitting RB and RB and B. Like, I'm getting massive ranks. So nice. He was easy mode, but the game is so much fun, and the story's just the story's fine, but it's crazy. But I don't care. It's so much fun to play this kind of game and to play these characters. Like, I think DMC. They missed what made this game fun in terms of the characters. They made them too. Yeah. They just made them too angry. Yeah. And it's not fun.
They needed the over top little hookiness.
Yes.
And I think with DMC they just went too edgy, and it's just like, nah, bro. Like, it needs
to be
Superman,
fun. They sealed it. Yeah, they lost the fun. Exactly, they lost the fun. So the game's fun. I really enjoy it. Recommend it to people who want to play these kinds of games. I'm actually more interested now in, like I said last time, in the Platinum game stuff, the Bayonetta, because of getting me back into this. So I'm definitely playing some Bayonetta.
That's it. It's like she's, it started out, she's the female Dante, because that's really what it is. Just like over the top, like, yep, this character is just like some craziness turned up to 11. Like, great, you do you. Like, you kill all these fucking demons and angels and whatever. Like, I'm here for the ride, baby.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give out spoilers, but there's a part in this game where I'm cutting things in half with a motorcycle. Yep. Like, it is just unbelievably amazing. So, anyways, all right, Tony, what have you been up to?
Not too much actual game playing. I forgot to mention it last week, but I finally beat Bloodborne.
Oh, nice! Wow,
which is a huge accomplishment, because, like, man,
that is that is respect there. It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, because man, that game, fuck that game sometimes. Because, like, the thing is, like, you can't ever, I don't know, underestimate any kind of monster you're fighting.
You can't take the fight off. You can't take a fight off. Yeah.
Yep. Even like the basic first enemies of the game, if you don't respect them, it's just like they can just stagger you, chain you, like whatever, and you're just like, oh my god.
It's like the complete opposite of Devil May Cry.
Yeah. But I kind of got stuck then because I didn't know this, but as soon as you beat the game, you are entered into New Game Plus mode. You have no option to just like stop and. Like, the game just forces you, because I was
it's like an arcade game.
Yeah, because I was like, well, wait, I wanted to do all the DLC stuff, and it's like, no, you got to start over. But the interesting thing about Bloodborne is that each time you beat the game gets even harder. So now this is New Game +1, okay, and all the enemies have, like, I don't know. I'll just throw a number. I don't know how accurate it is. It's like they have 20% more health, they do 20% more damage, all this other stuff, and I'm just like, wait. Like, what? Because, like, now I'm going through the game again. I keep my level and stats and all and weapons and all that stuff. So I'm still overall dealing more damage. But like again, the mobs, I'm just like, oh, that guy killed me in like 3 hits, but this is like an area 1 mob. Like what the fuck? So now I'm in the DLC, and the DLC monsters are like way tougher because it's like I think the expected order is you do this before you beat the game.
Oh,
but I beat the game, so it's like the DLC guys are just super buff now. I'm like, like.
And the game's laughing at you.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, not too much.
Did you get Sekiro or no?
Not yet. That is probably after PAX East because I am just itching
After
for more
Bloodborne?
punishment. Yep, exactly. I'm just itching for more. Like that's what I do. I just got to take it all in now. I'm just gonna be like, yep, I can enjoy.
I have a
this.
coworker who like loves the Souls and Bloodborne games, and he said that Sekiro is the hardest one that he's played.
Oh wow,
Dude, it is so
I've heard
funny.
the opposite from most places. but-
Really interesting.
Really?
What I had heard, and again, I can't verify this, is that the mobs aren't as bad in Sekiro as in like the Souls games, but the bosses are like stupid OP because apparently in the Souls and Bloodborne game, you can either parry or dodge, and in Sekiro, the dodge is not as forgiving, so you're forced to use like the parry mechanic and stuff like that, which is always a risk versus reward because it's like you either do it or you whiff and you just eat an attack and eat shit, basically. But it's so funny because I was actually a little pissed myself. I didn't know that there was a collector's edition. It was GameStop exclusive, and of course, like none of them were out. So I was like, well, let me just see if there's anybody on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. And I type it in Sekiro, and already on day one, there were 6 copies pre-owned for resale because people were just like, tried it.
This game.
Tried it, not my type. And I'm just like, that is so. That felt like the fastest flip I've ever seen. But yeah,
wow.
that's it for me though.
All right, Mike.
So I played mostly a lot more Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'm noticing that in the amount of crap there is to do in this game, it's similar to Witcher 3. It is a huge game with a lot of stuff. Luckily, they seem to label the fetch quests that are just fetch quests, like with a certain label. So I've been avoiding them, but there's still a lot to do. It's starting to feel pretty rewarding to get like the higher level gear, and I'm like closer to the higher level. I'm trying to like take out all the mercenaries. I'm not even caring about getting them to like come after me because I just want to fight them now and take them all out. So it's feeling pretty good now. I'm like around level 42. I don't even know if there's a hard cap. If there is, it's around 50. But we'll see what happens. I'm not sure where I am story wise. I feel like I'm anywhere from 2/3 to 3/4. There still looks like there's a little bit left of it though. So yeah, there's a lot to that game. It's
I heard it was a meaty, beefy game. So,
but no, I'm enjoying it as I get into it. I also played some more Apex with friends, and I'm kind of sick of that shit. Like honestly, like I just had a bad night with it, and I just feel like since this new season started, like the tryhards have came out so hard, and like I can't get a kill in the night anymore. Like it's ridiculous. Like people are just, it's too much. People are crazy. That's about it. But I am curious. I don't know if I want to do that. That Sekiro game looks interesting to me.
You don't want no part of that
because I don't want the other games because the worlds are just like too dreary and like repetitive looking and boring. Like
that world looks fun. It does look fun.
It looks more fun to me.
I want no part of that myself. So I was like, nope.
Come on, Jimmy, riding that Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry is a lot easier.
If I was actually in GameStop earlier today, and there was a guy who seemed a little casual, I would say, and he was returning Anthem. He's giving Anthem it. He's like, take that back. That game's garbage. He's like, all right, okay, yeah. He's like, yeah, I heard that, yeah. And then he's like, have this game, but he took Sekiro, and he said he beat the other Souls game. So, I mean, he couldn't be that casual, I guess. But so he's returned Anthem and got that game. So it's interesting. It's definitely on my radar if I want to do that to myself and have nothing else going on in like a month or two.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a little lull.
Right.
One last thing I wanted to mention. I thought this was a cool thing. Maybe I mentioned it before, but there was a streamer who actually, leading up to Sekiro, was trying to beat all the From Software Souls types games, so Demon Souls, Dark Souls 1 through 3, plus Bloodborne, without getting hit all in a row. And like a day before Sekiro came out, he actually did it.
Wow.
I'm not talking about like he beats one without getting hit, and then that's taken off from his list. I'm saying in a row. Like if he got 2 all the way, like he did it chronologically. If he got the Bloodborne and got hit by any enemy, he restarted from Demon Souls.
Jesus Christ. All right.
It took him.
Some people are ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. All right, Corey, what have you been up to?
Well, I haven't really played too much on my Xbox recently until this week. I started up with Destiny again with the Season of the Drifter stuff and trying to get more through that story and lore that they have, because it's more content drops and like lore is hidden all over the place. I got into it, so I was playing a lot of it recently, past few days, and I haven't played with my Elite controller that much, and so my hands were like I just wasn't like ready for it, I guess, because they are so sore right now because because I'm going with like this with the paddles.
Yeah.
And it's like the muscles, like we're not remembering this, and like it's like you haven't done this in forever. So I was like, oh man, my hands. So I thought that was kind of funny. I was
Nice.
like, wow. Took a little time off, and now I'm like all sore.
So you gotta warm up, man. You can't pull something. You're getting old. You're not as young as you used to be.
But they have the last word is back, and the quest line for is pretty interesting, and because like how it is now is like you have to go do all these other steps, and the last part of it is this section where you have to face off against this enemy, and it's like a quick draw thing. So like it says, steady, and it says draw, and then you have to draw and like shoot him before he shoots you, and you gotta basically shoot his hand. You have to do that, so you do it once. And then go further up, and then you have to do it in 2. You have to get 2 of these guys to do that. But if you fail, it goes back to the beginning. And then you have to do 3 of them. And it's just like, and each time, if you get hit once, you have to go back to the beginning. I think I had to do it like 25 times because I got to the last section, and I'd kill him, but he'd kill me at the same time. We'd shoot each other at the same time. And this most annoying thing. Like, I was like, oh my God, this is... After like 10, I was like, all right, I had enough of this.
Yeah.
But so it was a neat like change of pace boss fight sequence.
All right. Let's get into some news. We got a lot. Right. We'll kick it off. Let's start with Apple. Apple, we talked about on the movie cast. If you didn't hear that one, they had announcements galore of services they want to have you pay for. So you can now pay them. I think this is going to be $10 a month, this service, right?
Yeah, I don't think they announced pricing.
I think they did.
Did they?
I thought they did. Oh no, that was a newsstand. They didn't announce pricing yet for the games. That was a newsstand. They want to charge $10 a month for the newsstand. They don't have actual pricing yet for this. I'm fairly certain.
Xbox Arcade. I mean Apple Arcade.
Apple Arcade. So Apple Arcade doesn't have a exact launch date or an exact price, but you can pay them monthly to play their mobile games in their exclusive store for as much as you want, whenever you want, just like a subscription service like Game Pass, but it's only the mobile games. So a little different than Google's Stadia, because that was streaming actual AAA games to your any device, and whereas this is going to be mobile games on any device, any Apple device, I think. So we're not getting those AAA games in this. Do you guys have any? We might, I guess, but I mean, the announcements of the games, they're doing their own in-house games too, by the way. They have their own in-house games.
Yeah, everybody.
Give them a reason.
The red flag for me here, and we talked about this last week with Google Stadia, because they didn't announce pricing for that either. But at least, I don't know if it was confirmed for Google's payout, but Apple confirmed that the way that developers are being paid out is depending on how much time users spend playing the game. And that directly will correlate to how much payout they're going to get. And I think that it's just a recipe for disaster here, because you're already like kind of compromising the integrity of the game or the development of the game, because now is it really about being a fun experience? Because, there's some games where like maybe I only play it for like a half hour a day, like one game of Overwatch or one game of League of Legends or whatever, but I do it every day. As opposed to like something that is designed specifically to capitalize on your time, like Candy Crush or
well, that's the thing. Like, are these
Clash
games going to
Clans,
these
all that stuff?
These are freemium games, are pay to play. Are pay. They're freemium games anyways in here in the mobile store. So many games
Right.
are free now. So does this model work for this? Because you can actually play a lot of these games for free anyways.
Right, and that's the concern, is because I mean, to me, it just sounds like all they're doing is slightly changing the rules so that Apple makes even more money because apparently 30% of the in-app purchases wasn't enough. They want to have the subscription gross.
So they're going to make people pay. Let's just throw a number, $10 a month out for you to play Farmville, and you can play that now for free, or you can get no ads for $10 a month, and that's it. No more paywall.
I think it's going to really segregate the market too, because like you're going to have these developers like I'll just use hypothetically Rovia, like maybe it's like Angry Birds, I don't know, whatever number the fuck they're on.
Yeah,
it's like we're designing it specifically because we want you to spend, like I was just saying, like we want you to spend at least 1 hour with it every day.
It's no longer the integrity of the developers.
Right.
Because now it's like, are you really trying to make the best game, or are you trying to make the game that's going to be the longest?
Right, exactly.
So yeah, I can see where that would be an issue.
I can see that too. I mean, this is more building a game around you, an addiction, building a game around an addiction to make you come back. Yeah.
And I mean, not even just from the consumer side, but like, just as we talk about like addiction and stuff like that, it's like, I think this is a step in the wrong direction, especially when we have people in all over the world, like addicted to like the internet cafes and stuff like that, where it's like, these players were playing WoW or League of Legends or whatever it was for like days on straight, and then he died. It's like, what? How are you going to design an economy around how much like developers get paid depending on how much time users get paid? Can you imagine if WoW had done that? Like,
this brings me back though. This did occur already once before in our lives in the arcades in the 80s and 90s. These games were designed around constantly pumping quarters in. How can they make a game? It's similar. It's not. Gauntlet. Think about Gauntlet. That was designed for quarters.
Yeah,
but this is similar.
The difference there is they're trying to kill you, so that you put more money in. Players
arcades is like, right, exactly. You had to go to a place with an arcade. Usually, that was subject to hours of business. Now, this is in your pocket.
Oh, it's true. Yeah.
It's like
that could be really bad. Oh, wow.
I mean, Corey, I'm sure you're going to go through that with your kids, where you're going to have to lock them out of like, iPads and iPhones.
Well, I got to do that right now. I mean, you should see the ads, the games that my girlfriend's daughter wants to play. They're all like freemium games, and she like ads pop up, and she clicks on them, and I'm like, whoa, you can't just, I'm like, this is, you can't do that, and so it's just unbelievable. Like, there's games where she loves to play the game, but I have to delete them because they want to keep throwing ads up, and she's clicking. I'm like, you can't play this anymore. I'm not gonna. I'm sorry, you're not downloading 6 other games to play this game. So but that's going on. Like, and this is another thing. Like, I'm gonna have to prevent like passcodes and everything to prevent purchases accidentally on these devices, and that's what I have right now. But it's going to get worse as time goes. I mean, especially if this is a mobile. I mean, the kids, I guess, seem like you can play Fortnite in this. Well, probably not. I don't know where Fortnite's going to be, but let's just say if something like that comes out on an Apple platform, and it's just going to be constant. Like, it's almost like the same thing as us in arcades. I remember grabbing a roll of quarters from my parents, giving me like whatever that was, saying, "Here, go to arcades." I used to get $10 in quarters, and I could go to the arcade and play for the day, and that's the day. That's all I had for the day. That was my allowance. You can't really set. I don't think you can do that here. Maybe you can, but you can't set. Like, I guess you can set hours, but it still seems like if it's $10 a month, is it $10 a month, or is it going to be $20 a month? I mean,
that's the thing. Is I just don't. Again, especially, I think it started off the Game Pass, but like the money, the monetary aspect of it is just so clouded now, and it's just like I personally don't see how they're going to possibly make enough money or a theoretical $10, and I think that's a good starting point. Is going to be enough to share around and have people be successful. But we'll see. I'm just skeptical. I'm skeptical.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't intrigue me at all, this service whatsoever. Another service they announced yesterday that does not intrigue me at all. And I'm an Apple fan. We know this. I got an Apple Watch. I'm on a MacBook right now. I've got my iPhone that I hate, but I use because I'm in their ecosystem. But this does not make me dive deeper into their ecosystem. It doesn't. So just
again, like I said this on the movie cast, like these announcements, and with Apple, they always take something that existed and kind of perfect it. They make it the best of itself it can be. And here they're not doing that. They're just
all of these didn't seem like they were perfecting any of this.
Any of these services. It just seems like they're just giving more of what's already out there and not as good.
It seems like every one of these was a cash grab to say, here, give us $10 a month or whatever. And
they're chasing trends.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing.
Instead of setting them. Yep.
I love the statement, by the way, and we didn't talk about the newsstand at all. But like his statement, I love going to the newsstand, Tim Cook. And I'm like, dude, you've probably never in your life been to a newsstand.
Yeah.
I just, that whole thing, the news thing, just that it does not include, it's just unbelievable.
Oh, was there a Tim Apple joke in the comments?
I don't know if they made a Tim Apple joke. I didn't see the whole thing.
Did you see that Tim Cook had actually
changed
his Twitter handle to say
I almost said Tim Apple just when I said I almost did it. I had to stop myself for a second there when I brought up Tim Cook. So yeah, but anyways, so we'll see what this does. It's not interesting to me, but we'll see where it goes. All right. Other news we had this week, we had yesterday also State of Play from Sony. I had no idea was a thing until Tony mentioned it in Discord. I'm like, wait, there's a show tomorrow? So for those not in the know of what this was, it's a Nintendo Direct. It's a Sony Direct. Mm-hmm. So it's basically their quick blurbs to get you hyped into games coming out close, like within the summer, or I don't think there was any fall games. Was there? I think it was spring and summer.
Yeah.
I think all of it was. So they announced a bunch of stuff coming for the PlayStation and PlayStation VR, which was impressive to see that they were supporting this. Mm-hmm. They now sold 4.2. Yeah, 4.2 million.
Sold through too, not shipped. So
yeah, that's sold through. And we got an Iron Man VR game. Is it a game or is it an experience?
It's an experience, but it's still an experience.
It's a VR game.
It's a thing.
So
I was so interested when it started, and then I was like, oh.
You wrote Avengers. I remember that. I'm like, wait, I have to tune in. I hadn't yet tuned in yet. So I was like, oh, crap, let me get in there. And I was like, oh, Jesus, this was disappointing.
Like, what was super disappointing was like, when it started out, I was like, oh, these graphics are kind of nice. And it's like, not actual game footage. And then as soon as like it got out in the plane, it's like actual game, that went away. So I was like, oh, wait, this looks a lot worse. And it's like, as soon as the cursors, like the UI popped up, I was like, this is VR.
I thought a lot of the VR stuff didn't look that great. I mean, I know that they don't have the hardware behind it. Like, they really need better hardware. Because I think all of these games, I'm like, these games don't look so good. I mean, like the Five Nights at Freddy's, that's a remake too, and it didn't look that great. It looks freaky, I guess, but that's because it looks so blocky. Like they're like everything's kind of like falling apart. But anyways, they announced No Man's Sky for VR as well. Mm-hmm. That is a thing. Ready Set Heroes was announced, which I liked the concept of, which is basically you have a team. It's a multiplayer game that you get your friends together and you have to race through a dungeon against another set of people that are racing through the dungeon. And the fastest team will win, or you have a face-off at the end against each other, but the fastest team gets like massive, depending on how fast you can do it ahead of them, you get more perks to fight them at the end, so massive boosts. So it was a cool idea. Clearing like a dungeon and it's an top-down view, overhead
isometric.
Like
yes, thank you, Diablo view. So I saw that. There was Crash Team Racing, which we knew was in.
We're out of VR, by the way.
Yeah, this is not VR here. Crash Team Racing. I already mentioned the VR games, except for Concrete Genie. Was that a VR game?
No, there's a VR mode in it.
Oh, there's a VR mode.
I think it's like the Tomb Raider thing. It's a VR mode.
Oh, okay.
It's not like
so that's coming. That is coming fall, by the way. That doesn't have a release date, and that's coming fall. But yeah, so we had Crash Team Racing shown. Anybody impressed with that at all?
It's a remake of an older game.
Yeah, I don't know. You can't spend the time to make a Crash Team Racing game for your PlayStation 4. You have to do it.
They're making it right now.
They're making a remake.
Yeah, with new stuff in it, but
just make a new one. Jesus,
that'll come next.
Nostalgia, man. You gotta build on the nostalgia first.
Nostalgia makes us feel good. Remember?
Yes. We had Days Gone, a new trailer for the. How many trailers have we seen of this game by now?
Too much.
Too
many.
Yeah. How many? Not too.
Like we've seen gameplay.
Yes, I want this game. I love this game to be surprisingly good. I just think this game is going to be surprisingly bad. And I can't say surprising because I have
was
not.
gonna
We
say,
haven't
like,
talked.
you're gonna be surprised if it's bad, Jim.
No, because I'm not planning on getting the game.
I think it's gonna be average. I don't even think it's gonna be bad. I think it's just gonna be ho hum.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be a fine game.
It's gonna be predictably okay.
Merely good. 6.5.
But I mean,
No, it'll be. That's your rating, but it'll be like an 8 from everyone else.
I would say 7.5.
I'd say it's going to be between 7 and 8, but yeah, I don't know if they're going to put the 8 in front of it. But again, I hope it's good. I want to see.
It'd be cool if there's actually.
I'd love it to be good. It's just nothing that they have shown in the years that they have had.
Well, the problem that I see with their marketing so far is that they're trying to like build on this whole horde mechanic, and they kind of abandoned it recently. It's like, well, people aren't really keen on that, so let's do this whole story aspect out. We'll focus on that.
They haven't mentioned the horde thing at all, actually.
Right, well, that's what I'm saying. It's
I forgot about that. Hey, I forgot all about that. But we got lastly, we got the Mortal Kombat 11, the new trailer for that, which just looks. I don't remember this game, Mike. Now that you're on here, I don't remember Mortal Kombat games being this light, like goofy.
They are. Remember the friendships, the babalities.
Well, yeah, I get that part for finishers, but like, I'm talking about storyline. I'm talking about straight storylines.
I think with Mortal Kombat 9 is when they really entered into the story mode side of things, and it's kind of been like that since 9. I'd say
it has been okay.
Actually, I remember one of the recent ones in the story. It was funny watching this cutscenes. There was like very little violence in the cutscenes, and everyone survived everything and was okay. They kept going.
With Mortal Kombat 10, it was heavy like in the beginning of Johnny Cage, and Johnny Cage is
he's a joke,
goofy character.
Yeah.
So like that's what you're kind of building on here. What we've seen so far is a lot of Johnny Cage.
So we had 90s rap attached to this trailer, Mike. You liked that better than the first one, obviously. I thought it was fine in terms of what they were showing. You're right, it worked better. I thought that first trailer was terrible in terms of the music that was with it. It didn't do anything for me in terms of getting me interested in this game. But I don't know. I mean, how scale of 1 to 10, Mike? Where are you at?
Like 7, 8.
Where were you at before this trailer?
About the same. Like nothing's gonna really change my mind. I know that. I'm gonna get it, but
this is your game. I mean, that's what I mean. Like, I know you're getting this game. I'm not a Mortal Kombat fan. I mean, we've said this how many times. I actually like the character designs, but I hate the combat system. So it's just not for me. So it's not for me. But the trailer looks fine, though, I guess. I mean, it looked fine. It looks like it's going to be better than. I mean, I'll get better reviews. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't think the trailer is going to change anyone's mind about the game unless they were like really like holding out for some '90s nostalgia. Which
so we get them. Like it seems like every fighter's going to face their old selves.
I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen, but you'll have the option, maybe.
Yeah,
I think a lot of it has to do with time and stuff like that. Ed Boon's come out and said that a bunch about like how cool it's like Johnny Cage going to fight his younger self and Jax fighting, which we see in the trailers.
I'll say,
fighting there.
Just with all the Mortal Kombat 11 stuff, like I've actually dabbled in a couple threads. We're talking about the storyline because like apparently people, I don't mean this in a bad way, but people like talk about storyline and spoiling stuff. I'm like, what really? Like you guys care about this stuff? I'm like, all right, whatever. Like I'll pop in because I don't care. Yeah. And they're just like talking about like Ryan's like the worst god ever and like all the shit he's done and how he basically fucked over the entire like heroes. And I'm just like, wow, holy shit.
When I played and again, Mortal Kombat Deception, which was I think on the GameCube. This is the first like Mortal Kombat game I like played in my home, and I was surprised. That was the one with the RPG like whole system, like pretty much a wander around open world RPG system in there, which was surprisingly deep, and I was very surprised by how much lore and story there actually was in Mortal Kombat. And I mean, I've been a fan later. These newer stories are more cinematic, but less sort of like specific.
Yeah, I get you.
Well, like they allow you to go through a bunch of different characters, so they can't really focus on just one character. They can flesh them out too much. So there's that as well. So you kind of have to make this overarching story that encompasses all these different characters, so you can play these characters as you go.
Yeah, in later stories, there has been a bit of a turn to make Raiden kind of a douchebag.
Yeah, and he's kind of a douchebag here. But the other thing with this one, they definitely embrace like the campiness.
That's what they're doing. That's what I got from this vibe. I don't remember them doing that, embracing it. I thought they, I'm happy they are because it works better than if you tried to.
You can actually go on YouTube and watch like 9 and 10 as like.
I guess I should. Yeah.
Which they're like over 2 hours worth of like cutscenes and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So.
there's a bit. No, it matches up with what I expected more or less.
Okay.
I have to say I'm like really excited for Mortal Kombat. This game.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, it'll be at PAX East, so check it out.
Yeah. Let's see. Sony will stop retailers from selling.
Oh, what we gotta mention too is that
what did I miss?
Song, man, come on.
Shang
Oh
Tsung,
yeah,
right?
that was cool. I thought that was so cool. I'm not even.
They got
one of the best things ever.
Yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool.
And
They
it's
got
like-
him
It's-
back
it's-
for this.
Yeah, they got the actor that played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie, original movie, to voice the character and be his likeness. So like,
Yeah.
It really didn't look like him in that picture.
Well, that's because he's older.
that's
I know.
exactly what he looks like now, though. That's not what he looked like then in the movie.
I guess so. So he doesn't have like the sharp features anymore now.
Kind of like, I mean, as you get older, you puff out a little
You
bit.
sag a
I
little bit.
understand, but I don't know.
so-
I'd have to see him face to face.
I mean,
what
if
he
you
looks
compare
like
what
now.
he looks like now to what that image is, it's pretty spot on, I'd say. I mean, as it's like he's doing a cosplay of Shang Tsung, but like,
Yeah.
it's really cool that they did that.
Sony is stopping PS4 digital sales in retail stores as of April 1st, I believe. So that includes GameStop, Best Buy, but they haven't clarified if it's going to stop it on like Amazon to buy the digital codes.
No, it is everywhere.
It is? Okay.
Everywhere.
So, yeah, you can only buy digital games now through the PSN store.
They want that money. They want that
It
cash
goes back
money.
to this whole Apple thing where they want that percentage of money and they're losing it. I guess somehow they're losing it from the retailers. So,
Well, the thing is, they sell it to the retailers at a certain cost, but
I mean, the retailers have to make money too if they're
Yeah.
going to
sure.
sell the
Yeah,
codes.
it's a double.
They're not
yeah.
going to put the codes out there and not make money on it.
yeah.
Sure. So, all right. That's the last bit of Sony news I have is that. Let's move into Nintendo. They've had some news this week and some rumors.
Indies.
They had an Indies thing, which revealed a very, very, very cool game. Which
I mentioned it too. I was like, oh, it'd be interesting if Cuphead came to Switch.
well, Cadence of Hyrule is what I was talking about. But Cadence of Hyrule seems like that game was. I saw the original game of that, and it looks so much like
Necromancer or something.
Yeah, it looks so much like a Zelda game, and to see them tied into the Link and Zelda universe, that is pretty awesome. I'm psyched for that game.
Yeah,
quite a bit.
it was really funny because again, my first introduction to the game was at a Games Done Quick event. I was like, oh, this seems pretty cool. It's like a roguelike dungeon crawler Zelda style rhythm action game. It's like, okay, whatever, but it works. Like you just see this people play at these high levels, like it's just very rhythmic and just you're just like, oh, you get lost in it and stuff like that. But you know, I was watching the trailer. I was like, oh, okay, like maybe it's coming to Switch. I wasn't sure if it was on Switch or maybe it was a sequel. But then like she pops out and it's like, this looks like a lot like Zelda now. Like, are you allowed to get away with this? And then the music plays. I was like, wait, what? And then she like, it's like I have friends this time or whatever. And like Link and Zelda show up. And I'm like, is this real life? Holy shit! Like,
Nintendo
yeah,
took a chance and licensed out their characters yet again.
to Western developers, which
Yeah.
is crazy. And the interesting
Like
thing,
indie developers too.
yeah, the interesting thing about this was that they were talking to Nintendo because apparently Nintendo approached them or vice versa, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we could do like some like DLC characters or something for the game, like the base game with Zelda stuff." And they're like, "No, we actually want you to do like a full game." And they're like, "What, really?" And this is like kind of eye-opening because I don't think they've worked together in a big capacity before, but I think this paves the way for other relationships.
Mario and Rabbids kind of paved the way for things like this to happen.
They might have.
Well, right. I mean, so Nintendo has done that over the years. I mean, if you look back at even like,
Metroid.
well, yeah, you look at Metroid,
Got Star Fox and Starlink now.
Star Fox, you look at Donkey Kong and stuff like that. But this is the first time where it's like, I mean, they kind of went with a really small developer. Like this is one of those things where it's like, oh, we don't really have a working relation because at least with like Ubisoft, they work with Ubisoft. Bandai Namco, obviously they work with and do Smash Brothers and stuff like that. This one where it's like, hey, indie developer. So like for me personally, I think it's really cool because like I would love to see like Yacht Club Games do an indie collaboration because I remember they were the ones that did the Shovel Knight game, and then when it got ported to the other systems, like Battletoads came out on Xbox and Kratos was a playable boss character in the PlayStation version. It's like Nintendo version's like nothing. It's like they said they would try, but Nintendo was a little bit more strict with their properties at that point. But now I'm just floodgates open. Like, give it to me. I want Yacht Club games like 2D Metroid. Give it to me. Like, I want it. I need it.
Yeah. I think well, I don't know if this is the biggest or that was the biggest news of this. I think the Indies thing was the Cuphead announcement for Switch, which was pretty cool to see. And they even announced it as friends at Microsoft, thanking them for helping make the port possible. It comes out April 18th. It's been in production for a little while, and it's coming out very soon. And I get to play Cuphead again because I think I'm going to get it again because it's a perfect game for Switch. Like, I don't play it much at home, but I played a lot of it originally, and now I'm just like, it's better to have handheld. I can play it in my office. I'll maybe throw something, but it's maybe it's not the best thing for Switch because that might end up on the ground. But it's a fun game. It's pretty cool to see a collaboration here from Microsoft, and intriguing because this is obviously going to open the floodgates for that.
Oh yeah, and we get things to come. I know for a fact Ori is coming. I know it.
Ori and Banjo in Smash, and maybe a Banjo proper game. We talked about retro arcade, like the Rare Arcade.
Oh, that collection would clean house on Switch.
It would. They could re-release that. Microsoft could and make all the money back that they couldn't make on the Xbox to sell because it would sell on the Switch. Mm-hmm. That's your fan base. That's Rare's bread and butter right there. So that was cool. What do we have? We had Stranger Things 3, the game. Red Lantern. Stop me when you want to talk about one. Rad. That looked pretty cool. Actually, that was Double Fine.
2 apocalypses.
Post-apocalyptic wasteland. Katana Zero.
That looks cool.
That looks really cool. That's action platform game that looks fast-paced. Really fast. So that looks pretty cool. That arrives April 18th. Nuclear Throne Super Crate box was announced.
Nuclear Throne looks pretty good too.
Yeah. Out today. That's out. I didn't even see what that looks like yet. Vlambeer Arcade with Ultra Bugs. My Friend Pedro. Creature in the Well. Blastmaster 02.
I gotta play that first. I'll be playing that on the plane tomorrow.
Oh, there you go. Pine, Bloodroots, Overland. There's a lot announced. Darkwood, Neocab, and Swim Sanity.
Yeah, all the indies are coming to Switch.
Like Castle Crashers, you didn't mention.
I missed Castle Crashers. I'm sorry. Castle Crashers as well. Big game announced.
It wasn't in the direct, but it's coming.
Yeah, that's cool. So it was a heck of an indies for them. They had tons of games coming out, and brings me to the next news from them about the rumors of two new Switch consoles this year. Mm-hmm. We've heard rumors of one being made. Thought about maybe it being a lesser console, maybe something that's more kid friendly. Cheaper. Yep. We've been theorizing on that actually, and now they're actually a rumor that there is actually a little performance one as well, premium model, which is rumored. So it's kind of cool. No prices for any of this stuff. It's just rumors.
But it's strong rumors because the first source was Wall Street Journal, and it wasn't just like a stupid contributor article or whatever. I'm pretty sure anyway. It was like, hey, a reporter at Wall Street Journal, and then somebody else came out. Oh, maybe it was Eurogamer or some other pretty.
It seems very feasible.
What's that girl's name on Twitter that you always yell at?
Emily Rogers.
Oh, Emily. I forgot about that. That's right. I completely forgot about that. I don't think I followed her on Twitter. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I don't know. I think that it seems
definitely real. It's got to be real. It's about time.
Yeah. So it's cool though. We were talking about theoretically it would be cool to get a 4K dock. And obviously not every game would run at 4K. Most would run at 1080, but you could get like a kind of a PS4 Pro.
Switch.
Yeah. But I think we'll get more or less just 1080p graphics at like 60 frames is what I think we'll get. For most we get that for some games now, but I think for all the big, a lot of stuff going on screen kind of games.
Yeah.
So
I mean, let's start with the low-hanging fruit, like the lesser system or whatever, the kid-friendly one. I mean, that's an obvious gimme because the Switch is still selling really well at full price, $300. They've only done price cuts or temporary bundles and stuff like that. But to reach that, mass market, deep penetration of the kid market
style.
Yeah, 3DS style to get them to play, Pokemon and all these other games. Like, you need to have an attractive price point, and I don't think they can get the current Switch down to that price level, which I'm expecting to be $200. I think.
So what do you think is going to be removed, so to speak?
So I think the easy way. It's interesting because
No dock.
there are so many. Yeah, right. I think removing the dock from the bundle, as in like right now, you buy a Switch, you get a dock no matter what. Even if you're like, I only want to play this in fucking handheld. Too bad, you get a fucking dock.
Yep.
Take that out of the equation. I'm sure that drops the hardware by at least like $30, if not more. You remove the HDMI cable that comes with it, whatever. Because the thing is, like, I think Mike, you mentioned in the chat, like maybe it just doesn't dock. But the thing is, the Switch is designed to charge via USB-C so like you already have the port built in. It just seems really weird. And I'm not saying Nintendo won't do it, because anytime you expect Nintendo to do something or vice versa, like they'll prove you wrong. But it just seems really weird if they're like, yep, this Switch will never be able to dock, because at least from my viewpoint, they want you to be able to have like multiple people in your household owning different Switches and being able to play it on the TV or wherever you want to. So it's like, hey, like, mom or dad is like, they're playing their whatever game, and it's like the kids come home and like the kids put their Switch on and then they play the Switch on the TV as a family or something like that. And I think that's the goal, because if you take that away, where it's like, oh, the kids have their handheld Switches and that's it, they can never plop it on the TV or anything, I think you're missing a core functionality there. But there's that. And I think the other thing is they might come with redesigned Joy-Cons without the rumble and stuff like that, because I don't know how much you need that. Again, if this is supposed to be more tailored to the handheld aspect, I don't really think you need rumble for handheld.
Yeah, I agree. I was wondering what they would do with the Joy-Cons, because you got to keep them removable, so you have that extra controller in the house. That's the idea behind the Switch. You want multiple Switches in the house.
Yep, and I think the other thing is the NFC scanner. I think you can take that out, because
Really?
do you think smaller screen?
Smaller screen could be possible, but real quick, the NFC. I mean, it's so.
Can't use your Amiibos.
It's okay. They're moved on from Amiibos. Like, they come out just to sell the plastic and stuff like that. I don't even know if they have any more announced past the Smash Brothers.
I haven't seen it. Yeah.
So I think, and that's something you're building into every Switch, every Joy-Con, every Pro controller. Even though, what's the adoption rate of the Amiibos and stuff like that. So I think that's an easy way to just reduce the cost of the components. But the screen, I could see like a lower quality screen or something like that. I don't even know what it is now, but
I don't know about screen size being smaller, but this quality of screen.
I could see that too. Lesser quality screen. Good point. All right. Let's see what we have here. Last bit of news. EA's news. Bad news. Ending on bad news. Sorry. Laying off 350 employees, which is it's just weird to hear from them, because the statement they said is, we have a vision to be the world's greatest games company. If we're honest with ourselves, we're not there right now. We have work to do with our games, our player relationships, and our, what does that finish with? And our business. So that's from the EA marketing boss, Chris Brezzo, to the employees. It's just, how do you become the greatest? By laying off your employees?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, and it always sucks. It always sucks when you have to do that. I will say I was actually surprised with the honesty from EA in this regard. At least if we directly compare it to when Activision Blizzard just did it just a couple months ago. I think this one comes out more honest and earnest, and from a quote unquote good place where they're like, hey, we know it sucks. We're not pretending it doesn't suck. This and the other thing, but we're trying. And the difference here too, I want to point out, is Activision had a great year last year financially. I think the best year ever.
Yeah, they did.
And EA did not. EA had a bad year because we've been through all the mishaps of EA this generation, stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So from that, and Activision Blizzard wound up laying off more people than Blizzard did, or EA did. Mm-hmm. So that's another thing. But the other thing is, it sounds like a lot of these people, and that's just what I think Jason Schreier has reported. They're trying to work with them to like get them moved around internally if possible, which is good. Or doing some kind of outreach program and partnership with other companies, because obviously.
But like, wouldn't it have made sense to do this a week ago then at GDC?
Right, and I saw that tweet from Jason Schreier as well, and I do agree with that. But my understanding of the situation that was mostly marketing people and
it's marketing. It says mostly marketing, publishing, and analytics, but marketing was the biggest section because they couldn't hire. They knew this was coming.
Yeah, and so I don't know how many people that are marketers are going to GDC for connection. I'm not saying there's no value in it, but maybe it just wasn't a priority or something like that. But yeah, I agree. Like it should have been done before.
Timing of it should have been, they could have networked better at GDC. So, but yeah, so
Anthem was better.
Yeah, Anthem is obviously not doing well. EA just had a bad year in general. They started off with they haven't rebounded from Battlefront. I mean, the bad press from that just has killed their any momentum they would have had. They can redeem themselves in next month if they start showing some good games from Visceral. They're not going to have anything. But from Respawn with the Fallen, the Jedi Order or whatever it is. So, all right. I think that's all the news. Yeah, we did it all. I think it's going to wrap up the episode. So thanks for tuning in. Write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. Hit that subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. Please hit that subscribe button. We love subscribers. Tune in next week to the Gamecast.
It'll be a week because this weekend is PAX East.
Yes.
So we'll get a bunch of exciting announcements from that. And also it's going to be Sega Fest in Japan, which
cool. I didn't know that.
About some more Japanese Sega games.
So Corey will be back with the lowdown. Corey will be back with the lowdown on Borderlands 3.
Yep.
There were some leaks, but we'll hold them all off until next week. So
leaks that happened like last year, by the way.
Yes. All right. Tune in then. Thanks for listening. Thanks for viewing. See ya.
Adios.
See ya.